Hey guys, my name's James.
And I'm Corwyn.
And welcome to This Movie's Gay. Do I just say my name's James or hey James? Oh, fuck me.
Hey, James, my name.
We are off to it right now.
We're doing good.
As I have discussed with Corwyn, I'm streaming a lot on YouTube, especially in the past few days, to the point where in an Unreal Tournament stream, there's a level, and I was like reading the descriptions of each level, you know, to like immerse ourselves in the backstory. And the level's name, I go, it's Condemned, guys. I am so sorry. I couldn't read Condemned. It's bad.
I mean, that is literally a skill that I went to school to do, and even I mess up sometimes.
What, to cold read?
Yes, that is literally a highly sought after skill.
Hey guys, I don't have that skill. You can learn about it when I try to read intros and summaries on Mostly Speaking Sentai.
That's not even cold reading because you've seen that stuff.
Yeah, but
well, it sort of is cold reading, but you wrote that stuff that you are reading.
Yeah, I get.
So it's not even cold. That's just reading, James.
Yeah, but I completely forget it.
Cold reading is me picking up some random thing and then doing it.
Let me cold read this. Easy Cell, component to HDMI scalar converter, HDMI output. That's all it said. I was expecting it to have like stuff on the back, like, hey, this is when it was made. Here's the copyright. I don't know. Corwyn, I got some news to settle.
To settle?
I get on Facebook yesterday, Corwyn.
Okay. What have I done?
And to my surprise, I'm like, whoa. There's a 4-piece podcasting dinner date going on, but it was made a 3-piece one because Amanda and Warren were there. Those are 2 people in a podcast. And Corwyn's there. Where's his podcast co-host?
That was not anything to do with the podcast. It was cooking with Corwyn, which is the thing that I do with friends.
Oh,
and I have offered to cook with you, and you have turned me down.
I never turned you down. We can go in. We were talking about making the fried tofu.
Yeah, I was talking about making fried tofu, and you're like, you don't have to do that.
Yeah, because I don't want to. Then. But that's me being nice. That's my Midwestern sensibility.
You're going to have to get over your Midwestern sensibility. I'm a busy person, James.
Are you? I know you are.
If I'm offering something, you got to take me up on it. If you say, no, we don't have to, I'm going to be like, all right, peace. Got other plans.
I see Warren and Amanda on the 2nd, and you better believe I'm going to razz them as well.
Warren and Amanda and I have been trying to hang out and cook dinner together since I was in Macker's. Like, it has been a long time.
In Macker's?
Macbeth.
Oh, you said Macker's. Is that what you call it?
Yeah, because you're not supposed to say that title in the theater. Like, since I'm always in the theater, we just call it Macker's. So yeah, since I was in Macbeth, we have been trying to have dinner together. So when I was in Macbeth, we hung out and went and watched The Farewell together. And after that, we were like, all right, the next time we hang out, since they got me tickets to that movie and they bought me popcorn and drink, and I just felt so loved and so warm. And I'm like, all right, I owe you a dinner. I need to like cook for you. And it has not happened. And it has been a very long time. So it finally happened the other day. And Warren and Amanda posted about it. So if you want to see pictures of me cooking, there they are. I could also throw them on the Instagram.
I'm going to straight up tell them, like, next time they post something like that, normally you make it public. You make it for friends, but you can choose on Facebook what friends don't get to see it.
I'm not going to
check me. Just check me so I'm not here streaming by myself, just crying, saying, Corwyn, Amanda, Warren, why? What'd you guys make?
We made chicken tortilla stew.
Yeah, see, I could have picked out the chicken. I would have been fine.
You wouldn't have been able to pick out the chicken.
I would have fed it to Frank.
Oh, my God.
He loves chicken so much.
But then what about Nicole? You would have left Nicole.
I would have said, Nicole, you'll be the 5th wheel if you come. And then Nicole being her, she'd be like, yeah, you're probably right. Everyone hates me.
No. I'm nicer to Nicole than I am to you.
Yeah.
I've come to realize.
Yes, because that's you have met Nicole. I mean, not met Nicole. You have been around Nicole just a handful of times. If you were as mean to, I mean, she would actually kind of like it if you were treated her as you treat me.
No, I'm very mean to you.
No, you're not.
So mean.
Maybe everyone's mean to me. So I'm like, you're as equal as everyone else.
You're as mean as everyone else, so it's fine. Oh, James.
TC's very mean to me. Nicole is. But I'm just like, yeah, man, we're best friends. We razz each other. My friends Tyler and Gabby, I went over to their house for dinner. Technically not their house, his brother
By
Jeremy's.
Yourself? Without Nicole?
Nicole wasn't there that time, but had come over again because Nicole wasn't really in that friend group and we had kind of just started dating-ish. But I go over there and I forgot what Tyler did to Gabby. They've been together since high school and just kind of does something mean. And then Gabby's like, the fuck was that? And he's like, we're in love. We razz each other. It's what we do. And I told Nicole that. So it's now a constant running joke of it's what we do. You got to razz someone if you love them.
All right. Well, you heard it here, folks.
But
razz them.
Don't razz-kill them. That means you give them a murder potion, EP, and then all of a sudden you're dead. Demoness of the Southwest.
What was that again?
Also, I don't make these references for really anyone. It's just because stream of consciousness, baby. Razz-kill is a horrorcore rapper, and her first EP was called Murder Potion.
Murder Potion. That's just called Poison.
Or Venom, which one? Someone asked me, Amy.
Oh my God.
Asked me what my favorite moments in all the podcasts have been. And
you're like Poison Venom.
Yes, Poison Venom, the sensual, sexual, all of that stuff.
That has been us.
And the cold brew stuff, because it came up on last week's.
No.
It came up on last week's Mostly Speaking sometime.
Making me want to murder you.
And Nicole was also very angry at it. I was like, you cold brew some Kool-Aid, and she just screams in the mic, that's just Kool-Aid. That's just, you're making Kool-Aid. You're just making Kool-Aid with coffee. And I was like, no, Nicole, it's Kool-Aid first. And then you drop a cold brew packet in it, leave it soaking for 48 hours, and then you got some cold brew Kool-Aid.
That would be cold brew Kool-Aid. Yeah. That'd be weird. Because you are putting a cold brew packet in there and letting it cold brew.
Yeah. That's all the stuff I've been saying, that's what you do.
No, there was one of them that you were not saying that. No. And I was like, that is not what that is, James.
That's what I've always been intending it to be. You do...
Oh, well, there was one that you were not saying that at all. And I was screaming.
You take eggnog and then you put a cold brew packet in it. Then you put it in the fridge and let it soak for 48 hours. That's what I want to do for all of these videos.
Oh, my God.
It's just like, will Coca-Cola taste good if you cold brew it?
Yeah. I feel like you're also using cold brew as like a verb that it's not.
It's what you do.
Oh my God.
Cold brew is something you do. It's a verb, baby.
Oh, you're infusing is what it is.
We've also had, but I can't just say like, this is the infused channel. No, it needs to be like, hey, we're cold brewing shit over here. And once you drink this, you gon' be having some cold brew shit.
See, what I heard was that you were making eggnog and you were saying that making eggnog was being the cold brew. And I'm like, no. That is not how that works, James.
No, just...
But also, I mean, even
beverage.
That's not really how that works either. You're still infusing. You're infusing it with coffee.
Here's one
via
thing
cold brewing
that I really want to do: take some creamer and then like a big thing of creamer.
Oh my God!
And then put cold brew in there.
Shut up!
And then you're like, holy shit, James! You cut out the middleman.
The coffee. Yeah. No one wants the
coffee. So then you can just drink the creamer and it has cold brew in it.
Coffee.
Yes.
There's coffee in it,
and it's good. I mean, I don't know if it's good. I'm going to make this a YouTube channel, and it will be a smash hit. I'm talking 3,000 views.
That's a smash?
For me, it is. I've been rapping for 14 years, and you go on my SoundCloud, and it's like, you have like a total 17,000 plays. And I'm like, yeah, but that's since SoundCloud has been around, which is a very long time.
For however many years you've been rapping. I know you just said the number, but I immediately forgot it. Every time you mention rapping and put numbers there, they're all gone.
14, that's how long I've been rapping.
It's already gone. I legit don't remember what you just said.
Yeah, April 6th, 2006 is when I put my first song up on MySpace.
2006, I would know that just because that's when this movie came out. The movie Adam and Steve. It's also when I went to high school.
That's when I started high school, too.
Yeah, class of 2010.
That's when I lost my virginity.
Our 10-year reunion is coming up.
Oh, boy, I'm not going.
Ooh, boy. I could go and be like, I'm successful.
You could. You're a manager?
I'm a manager. I've been manager at 2 different companies.
You're a house sitter?
Oh, my God.
At the theater?
Oh, my God.
Chia, dabbing.
I've performed multiple times in Chicago.
Chia.
Big deal. Performed in New York.
Whoa, really?
Yeah.
You performed in Memphis, Tennessee?
Yes. I've performed.
That's where
I
I'm
have
from.
performed in Memphis, Tennessee.
But
yes.
on the college circuit?
Not really.
Oh, you didn't perform at college?
I mean, I did, but okay. So when you said that, I immediately thought of like, so in theater, there's this thing that you do where you audition at a big like audition thing. It's like a big cattle call. A bunch of people go in with numbers and they all audition and all that.
Like they talked about it on Whenever You're Ready.
Yeah, stuff like that.
I hit a mic stand.
Theirs are different than what mine was because it goes by like region.
Yeah.
So you audition for those and then you move on to another thing, audition, and that's how you get like regional gigs, and you go out and you perform at like different regional theaters, and you're part of the company for the summer and summer stock and stuff like that. So
okay.
And I did not do that.
All right. You performed possibly in Hawaii.
I did not perform in Hawaii. I didn't audition for anything in Hawaii.
But you can tell those friggin' people back home you lived there.
I did live there for a minute.
Just 1 minute?
1 minute. I landed, I stood in Honolulu, and then I got back on the plane and left.
You quickly registered citizenship there
I was
and then
like,
flew
1
back.
minute, lived, done, bye.
What if someone were just alive for 1 minute and then they were undead, a little undead baby? Those are creepy.
They're always creepy in everything that ever does undead babies. Okay, what does this have to do with Adam and Steve? Let's go through it.
Okay, guys, Adam and Steve, it's actually a very easy, just the beginning is what we need to give a summary for, and then the rest follow the beats of a normal romantic comedy.
A romantic comedy.
You messed me up by saying rom-com.
How am I still messing you up, James?
I don't know, guys. Mess me up. You mess me up. You mess me up. You know No Bunny? He's from your neck of the woods, I think.
The movie, James.
Okay, guys, the movie. Jinx. Now I can talk about whatever I want. Corwyn can't talk.
I do not abide by the rules of Jinx, James.
What about the bye-bye, mommy? That Jinx?
Silence.
Okay.
Silver one.
Oh, yeah, that's from the movie. So, the movie begins in 1987 where the drugs are flowing and the clubs, people is going. They're in New York City. It's a time when there were porno theaters in Times Square. Uh-oh, there's also cocaine.
Why are you giving a description like this?
Oh
my God.
New York is the character, too.
We're not going into filmography, setting as a character, blah, 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 blah.
Okay.
Every
movie that takes place in New York, when it shows the actors, one of the actors should also be New York playing New York. So
it's just an extra that's in every single scene.
Yeah.
And he's got on like one of the shirts that you can get from the vendors on the corner. that has like the spray painted on like New York thing, and he's wearing like just a bunch of like New York memorabilia that you can buy from any bodega or street corner person.
I want one that says I Statue of Liberty, New York.
Yeah.
So
that's New York.
There's this goth couple. It's just a couple of goths, I should say. They come in. One's Parker Posey. One is
Indie darling Parker Posey.
One's the writer and director of the movie, or it's the other guy. I'm not sure. They come in and they're like, oh man, this isn't goth night. This is disco night. And then there's a man on stage and he's covered in glitter. You better believe my skin crawled seeing that. It also was like, you know, a fruit roll-up? This is how I hope they put the glitter on. It's like a fruit roll-up bodysuit where like you peel it off like cellophane and then you like apply it to yourself so then you can easily take it off. It's not like you put glitter on. It's just fruit roll-up clear glitter.
I can guarantee that's not what that was, James.
Dang it, like resin bodysuit with glitter inside. So he's dancing and they're like, oh, fuck, man, he's so hot. So they go up and he's like, hey.
Awkward, throwing drinks and shit.
Sorry about my friend who is mean to you. You guys want to do some cocaine? And then they do cocaine. And then Parker Posey's character is like, oh, that's great coke that we did for the first time. But I think it has baby laxatives in it because it gave me the Hershey squirts. That's how you know this is in 2000s.
And Parky Posey. Parker Posey's character is fat at this moment, and that is a thing with her character.
And then she's like, oh, you go. I'm going to leave. So they're just doing a bunch of cocaine. They go back to Goth's house.
They watch the sunset or sunrise. They watch the sun on the Brooklyn Bridge.
And did you know there are like 24 bridges to Manhattan? There's a movie called like 24 Bridges. They then go back to his house and they're like, just like, oh man, let's make out hardcore, quick draw McGraw. And then the guy gets naked and he's singing sounds of music and he's like, oh yeah, check out my muscles. This one's called a bicep. This one's a lat. Oh, and these are pecs. And then he's like, ah! And they've all been doing a bunch of cocaine.
Laced with baby laxative.
So of course, called it. He just... a fountain of diarrhea comes out of him. And he's like...
I walked away at this point, so I didn't have to watch that.
And he's like, oh no. And then runs out of the room. And then goth guy is sitting there and his dog, who's a puppy, comes up. And he's like, arf, arf. And...
goth guy also throws up. Yeah. I was also absent for that part.
And he goes, puppy, don't look. Is the dog's name Puppy?
Bert.
Oh, yeah. Why? I thought it was just named Puppy.
Jesus.
Well, yeah, you can call a dog Puppy.
Yeah.
I call Frank
I'm saying Jesus because they had a whole segment about him being Bert. And he just completely...
I forgot that. Oh, happy birthday. I thought she was just being weird. The dog has a birthday and Parker Posey calls and says, I want to wish a happy birthday. Like how I say happy Smurf Day and I'll send my friends.
Oh my God.
Like rule 34 of sexy Papa Smurf.
James, I like getting you to describe the movies specifically so that I can see what in the movie you completely missed or misunderstood. I said misunderstood. Like what completely went over your head.
So
it's wonderful.
Then this is also an irreverent comedy that it's weird tonally because it is grounded very in reality. So it seems like a normal rom-com, but then just specific times during this movie, something very irreverent and absurd happens. And it's just weird tonally. We'll get into that more. But he leaves. Flash forward 17 years later. It's 2006. I think the Twin Towers are donezo. They're not there anymore. Oh, Spider-Man movie poster. Then they had to airbrush, like they had.
I know.
Okay. Hey guys, I'm not explaining it. You better look it up and check it twice. Naughty or Nice. And speaking of naughty and nice, that's what this movie is. It's a combo of both. Then they meet up because he's cutting salami in his bed and he stabs his dog.
He has some bedroom salami.
Yes.
We've all been there. We've all done that.
Especially if you're in a studio apartment, the entire thing's a bedroom.
Yeah.
So
the knife slips and he stabs his dog.
And then he runs to, it seems like it's going to be a vet. We don't know. But then he breaks in and he says, "Someone help me. My dog is stabbed." And then it's a normal human hospital. And they're like, "Yeah, you can't be here." And he's like, "Why can't you? You have the meters and he has lungs and blood. Fix my dog."
And then heart and brain.
Then someone calls another person and says, like, someone picks up and goes, "Hey, we've got another dog stabber here." And one of the funniest things in the movie. So
I feel bad for the dog because the dog got stabbed.
Yes.
But the dog is perfectly fine,
Absolutely
which is why we
fine.
can laugh at it.
So,
but yeah, another dog stabber. Jesus Christ.
And this doctor ends up being the dude who shit on the floor. And,
but they don't know that.
And then it's a rom-com but irreverent. And then we'll get into notes. And they marry in the end. Spoilers.
Not a lot of representation.
In their wedding party, there, like the wedding reception, there is.
The wedding shot.
And that's it. They have a dog.
Oh my God, James.
That's representation for other animals.
No.
If the dog could talk, you would say, yes, we need more talking dog actors. Like, really, if dogs could talk, you'd be like, yeah, we should get more dogs in roles. God, I wish animals could talk. If Frank could talk, it'd be the best. Daily podcasts, because him and I, we'd be chatting it up. The mic would have to be so low for him, though. He's just a little boy. Old man, though. Oh, man. He'd be sitting down with his little gut hanging out.
What are your notes?
Greener Grass. This is another movie Nicole and I watched, which was an irreverent comedy. If you have Hulu, go watch Greener Grass. It is so good. Nicole and I, there's a specific scene in there that we had to stand up so we could continue laughing and not hurt ourselves. It's very good. A great irreverent comedy.
There was something that... What movie had the last time that me, you, and Nicole were watching that we were just laughing? We couldn't focus on anything. I don't remember.
Yeah, I don't know.
Damn.
There's only been a few that Nicole's been in the room, but I don't know.
Roomba.
But so speaking on irreverent comedies, this one, maybe it's because it was like 2006, so like jokes weren't as quick paced. It's not like Tim and Eric had come along or Eric Andre, where it's just like constant speed of sound type jokes. But that's what I was expecting. Like when you get an irreverent comedy, it's like, well, if it's funny, just throw it in. It doesn't matter. Like Airplane or Wet Hot American Summer, They Came Together. Those kind of just like jokes per minute movies. There is a story to drive the thing, but the story kind of takes a second place to just like the goofs. Kind of like Ninja Turtles 2, baby. And this movie was just weird in the tone and how it felt, because you get these very serious moments of them like loving each other, but then it's juxtaposed. I know how to say this word. Juxtaposed by them going to his family's house, and they all have a curse on them of bad luck. And
hilarious.
Which they're one of the funniest jokes, which I wish this were more jokes like this. That's what I was expecting from this, especially how the trailer made this. They go to the Bernstein household, and the mom who is in the mom, Freddie got fingered, and the daughter, his sister,
Kristen Shaw,
and is right by Kristen Shaw. The mom goes, "Hey, who wants coffee?" Then the coffee mug or coffee pot immediately crashes, and she instantly says,
shatters.
"We're all out of coffee."
It shatters all over Kristen Shaw's character and burns her. And she just goes, "We're out of coffee," and walks away. Beautiful moment. Or when they walk in and I think the light fixture just falls and shatters over the mom's head, and she's like, "Darn, we replaced that last week."
It's being built up that they have a curse, and the other man is like,
"There's no such thing as bad luck.
There's no bad luck." And then built up, and he's like, "Okay, fine, there's no such thing as bad luck." Goes in, and immediately that happens.
They're just sitting for dinner, and a mirror falls and shatters, and They're like, well, that's another 7 years. And she says, I thought that one was shatterproof.
Just just buy sheets of silver. That's what you should do.
That's expensive, James. Just buy cheap tin.
Okay.
Tin also reflects.
Or a CD.
Build yourself a CD wall.
Get a digital camera, guys.
Get a camera. Get some gold sheeting and just polish that out and gild your walls.
Yeah. Guys, get some copper and buff that too.
Just buff all the precious metals.
Oh my God. Find a bald-headed man. Shine his head real good. Ask permission first. And if he says no, still do it anyway.
No. Get an entire wall of water. Just like a whole wall of water. Because water's reflective?
Yeah.
Yeah. There we go.
Water wall, guys.
Water walls.
So... Amazon has...
Amazon water walls. It's fine.
Amazon has very weird subtitles.
They were all wrong.
Yes, and one of our favorite is someone said Bella Lugosi, and it was spelled Bella the Ghost C.
I thought she said Bella the Ghost. I did not hear Bella Lugosi.
I
also have no idea who Bella Lugosi is. So
he was vampire. He was Dracula in the Nosferatu, I think.
Oh, well, great. Beautiful reference.
And then this was just one of the executive producers' name was Kermit John. And then this is the note. Kermit John ... Kermit is a real name?
Yeah.
Like people have the name Kermit?
Yes.
Before the frog.
I think so, because I think that's where the frog's name came from.
I just thought, hey, it's a cool, hey, he's Kermit the Frog here.
Grover's a real name, too.
Grover?
Yeah.
Oh, it's a last name, right? But it's also a first?
Yeah, my uncle's first name was Grover.
Oh, dang. You got an aunt named Kermit?
Yeah. Don't make fun of Aunt Kermit, James.
What else? What else do we have? 17 years ago, the goth guy goes out to a very funny scene of where the smokers are outside, and it's just like they're bellowing fog into his face. It's very funny. But there's this
twink.
Okay, I thank you for saying that. I was just going to say a young gay man.
His character, a young gay man, wrote a lot of books.
Yeah. What's up?
Yeah, his character name on IMDb is just Twink.
Oh, okay. I still feel like I shouldn't say that.
It's not a slur.
But it's the hard consonants in the it's book ended with hard consonants, so it just sounds mean to say.
It's not.
Okay. I still don't want to say it.
Say it.
No.
Oh my God.
So this guy is analyzing him of oh, this is why you're the way you are. And he goes,
can someone tweet us if they're afraid to say the word twink? Please tweet us.
Specifically like straight people, if you're afraid to also say this word. I just feel like you're going to
even gay people, if anybody's afraid to say the word twink, please tweet at me and tell me why.
TC is constantly trying to get me to say slurs on What the Hellmouth, and I'm like, ones that I don't know, and and I'm like, okay, that sounds bad, so I'm not going to say it. And luckily, Anissa will be there, and as TC is saying, oh, it's fine to say, Anissa says, yeah, you should not say that.
Well, I would not steer you wrong in that situation, James.
Well, we know you're very mean to me, so...
I still don't make you say slurs.
Yeah, I guess you're right. You wouldn't have me do that. So
that looks bad on me.
This guy is analyzing him, and goth guy says, do you know you just said that out loud? And he's like, oh, yeah. I'm going to be an actor, so I
observe people.
I'm very good at absorbing and figuring people out.
The twink was right. The twink was 100% right.
Oh, yeah.
The twink also did that to Steve.
17 years later, looking exactly the same.
No, that was both of those were 17 years later.
No, one was in the club.
In the club, he wasn't goth anymore.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Jesus Christ.
I thought he did that.
You thought he stayed at Twink for 17 years?
I was like, yeah, it's an irreverent comedy. Why wouldn't they do that?
No,
You're right, yeah.
It was the same year.
Because he was sober in... Yeah, okay, yep, this makes sense. I apologize.
Went over James's head. So the Twink does the same thing to Steve and basically describes their entire like trauma and lives and what they're doing and what their holdups are and what issues they're going to have going into their relationship.
Cheer! The puppies, who I guess was named Bert. I put puppy with cake frosting. He eats a whole cake because it's his birthday.
And I wrote a note during that because we see Adam making the cake. And the first thing he does, he's got the little hand mixer that you crank and like mixes up some flour. So like, okay. And then he takes an egg and he cracks it on the side of the bowl. And of course the egg goes everywhere. Listeners, don't crack your eggs on the bowl. Just don't do it. Just crack it on the counter. You don't want to crack it on that hard surface like right there on that corner on a bowl. Do you know why, James?
Why?
Because you have a chance of breaking the egg and the yolk and all of that. So you're going to make a big mess. But also because when you do it like that, it forces the shell into the egg. So you're more likely going to get shell into your baked good. So just crack it on the counter, somewhere flat.
Can I crack it on a cutting board?
Yeah, as long as it's flat.
Can I just smash it in there?
I'm going to crack it on your head, James.
Oh, I got egg on my face.
Yeah, you do.
Then there's a commercial which I thought was very funny about 9/11 commemorative plates with chips from Ground Zero made
ceramic
into the
chips from Ground Zero.
And then it comes up later.
The Steve's mom, who from Texas, his parents from Texas come up and they buy one of the commemorative plates that they saw for sale in the airport.
Hey, look at what we got. It has chips baked in.
The funniest gag to me was the one where Adam does not want to have PDA, doesn't want to display affection in public with Steve because he says every single time I do, some guy from Jersey throws a beer bottle at me or someone from Jersey throws a beer bottle at me. And then we're like, oh, that's funny. That's going to happen. And then it happens multiple times.
And just one
And they
montage.
do like a montage. And they just, every time in public they do something, well, almost every time, he just gets beer bottles pelted at him.
And one of the scenes was aggressive.
Many bottles
at him.
Never at Steve, just Adam. That's the Bernstein curse.
It is.
But that's also real talk. Like, it's hard to do PDA sometimes, especially if you're a queer individual. And I am always very happy when I see queer people doing something like holding hands or kissing in public or anything like that. It warms my heart a bit because I grew up in like the Bible Belt and all of that. So there's sort of a stigma there with PDA in general, but also like queer on top of that is another stigma. So PDA is very hard for me. So I've definitely had relationships and stuff in the past where they've like wanted to hold my hand and I'm like, I'm not really comfortable with that.
Yeah.
So yeah, real talk. That's it.
I'm not gonna
joke on that.
Yeah, no.
Thank you. Thanks for not joking about my
I mean, I wasn't going to be
James.
joking about that. I was going to say well, Nicole and I do PDA like this, but we can't because she doesn't know how to get a piggyback ride.
Okay.
Nicole doesn't know how to get a piggyback ride.
I would not trust you to hold me during a piggyback ride.
No. Nicole, you know how people sit on a tauntaun?
Yeah.
That's how Nicole does a piggyback. Guys, please just Google Luke on tauntaun. That is for real how Nicole does a piggyback. It's not like chest to back. She
wants to ride you like a horse.
Yeah, like as if there's a seat on my back, like extended outward. She's kind of like sitting, and I'm like, dude, I can't. I just topple over. I fall backwards.
Because you have to lean forward to get your center of gravity lower. Oh, hilarious.
And then I think Nicole has made jokes of like, well, I didn't have a good dad to give me piggyback rides. So unfortunately, never learned how to do that. Okay, I'm glad we circled back around to
Beautiful.
I would love to give Nicole piggybacks everywhere, but it's literally impossible.
It's just my imagination is killing me right now. You need to get swole, James. Swole enough to hold Nicole vertical or horizontal on your back.
I just have to
pull her forward.
Yeah, pull her forward. But then she also doesn't get to kind of wrap your legs around, or at least pinch your legs into the person's side. She just kind of goes dead then.
That's okay. Have her give you a piggyback ride.
No, Nicole's back is half metal, so
don't do that.
Yeah, no. She would break.
Maybe that's why she also rides you like a tauntaun, because
it's more comfortable.
More comfortable.
Yeah. Guys out there, if your lady ain't riding you like a tauntaun.
Guys too, guys out there, if your guy ain't riding you like a tauntaun.
Ooh.
Ladies out there, if your lady ain't riding you like a tauntaun.
Sucks to suck.
People out there, if your loved one's not riding you like a tauntaun. There we go. We
Horses
got everybody,
out there.
No, James. We're talking about people.
Horses can be people too.
No.
I've seen some long-faced people. They looking
James.
like a horse.
James, that's rude.
I know. Oh, what about centaurs? They're people too.
Centaurs are centaurs.
Oh, yeah, I guess you're right.
And we should not speak of them.
Centaurmon. You like that Digimon? He's cool.
Anyway, the twink was right. The other thing I have is I just wrote Indie Darling Parker Posey 3 times. Oh, Indie Darling Parker Posey. She's in if you are unaware of who Parker Posey is, if you've seen Netflix's Lost in Space, she's the so-called bad guy in that. That's the most big thing. She's done a lot of stuff.
I've heard of pockets full of posies, but films full of posies?
Films full of posies. Yeah, she's been... You probably have seen her in something.
Oh, yeah, I know. Yeah.
She's one of those people that's been in a lot of stuff, but she's also been in a lot of indie movies. Their take you to dinner scene I thought was very funny because Adam was like, oh, I want to take you to dinner. And Steve's like, no. And then Steve's like, I want to take you to dinner. And Adam's like, no. But eventually they work it out and they go to dinner together and in love.
And then during this dinner scene, we realize that Goth one hasn't had sex in a long time, and then Disco one has a bunch of sex. But he's like, oh, when's the last time you did have sex? And he was like, well, I invited this phone sex operator over, and he lied. And then the lies...
He didn't look like what he said he did. And the lies just keep building up and up and up. And then he's like... And I told him that after we had sex.
That he shouldn't be lying about that.
He still had sex, so,
I just have 2 notes.
And then I have Silence Silver 1.
Oh, yeah.
Because Parker Posey breaks into their AA meeting and, yells that.
Towards an older woman.
At the moderator. And, yeah, I just need that energy in my life. Silence Silver 1.
Hey guys, this is my 3rd time trying to get this bit out. We should use Silence Silver 1 as
Silence.
Okay Boomer.
Silver 1?
Yeah, because
like a video game.
They start getting them salt and pepper hair, them boomers. And
Silence
silvers.
Silver 1.
I also was gonna say Silent Sulfur 1 because Silver Surfer. But
then also you said sulfur 1, like they eat a lot of eggs, they got a lot of sulfur. Ew.
Cows are ruining our ozone, guys.
So are old people.
Are they?
Them CEOs.
Okay. Some CEOs are young. Look at Mark Zuckerberg.
They ruin it.
More like Mark Fucker Nerd.
Jesus Christ, James.
He's a nerd.
He's a baby who is also an asshole.
That was my other note.
That's my last note.
They said that about Disco Guy a lot.
Parker Posey's character said it and then Adam said it because they're both best friends. So of course they have each other's speech habits.
And then when they're on the bridge and Steve is about to propose, Adam says, "Oh, I haven't been on this bridge and looked at." This setting since insert story of them meeting
they met
in the
for
80s.
The first time. And then that's when that's when Steve realizes that they know each other already. And then Adam doesn't learn until later, after Parker Posey seduces Steve's roommate and is like, tell me what you know. Tell me. You know you want to tell me. It was great. It was great.
Just great. With feminine wiles.
Just great close up right on her face. Just her speaking directly to the camera, to your soul.
And in this scene, as Steve is running away after like, oh God.
Oh my God. Is this the first movie we've watched where someone has made a revelation and then just completely run?
Maybe.
Booked it? Beautiful.
But he doesn't run and book it. He starts running and sees a kid on the bridge biking past him, and he just lifts this kid out of the seat of the bike, gets on the bike himself, Grand Theft Auto style, and just books it away.
Grand Theft Bike.
Yeah. Grand Theft Cycle.
Okay.
Because, it's two syllables.
And that's the movie.
Yeah.
Would you recommend this movie, James?
Yeah, I would. I think they could have there were a lot of awkward moments or just like long
2006.
Cuts. Yeah.
So if you are aware of that, no, it's from 2006.
Yeah.
And it definitely could have used more representation, all of that. Fun stuff that is
also
necessary in life.
Steve's best friend is played by Chris Kattan. It's weird how we didn't bring that up.
Yeah, and we have got Chris Kattan and Kristen Shaw.
Oh, yeah.
And we're like, oh, those are people we recognize. And I feel like the mom was from... Oh, you already mentioned.
From Freddy Got Fingered.
Yeah, I would recommend it for what it is. If you want to watch something dumb. So yeah, that's it. And my plugs and all that. Follow my theater company, Sawbucks Theater Collective, on Instagram and Facebook and all that fun stuff. Follow me on all of those as well, at Corwynning, and Twitter, yes. And then our podcast at This Movie's Gay on both of those things.
Hey guys, go over to mlmpod.com to find out more information about Mostly Speaking Sentai, This Movie's Gay, What the Hellmouth, and Hit It and Crit It. Those are the podcasts I do, and we've got some news coming up soon. Actually, we announced it. Nicole and I are doing a Nicolas Cage podcast. We're watching every single Nicolas Cage movie. It's just going to be Nicole and I chatting and goofing. No guests, baby. Unless like one of our friends is like, I love this specific Nicolas Cage movie.
I love The Rock.
Like, do you love it extremely?
I've watched that movie so many times.
Okay.
I don't know what I love about it, but growing up, I loved that movie.
Okay, we'll get you on. We'll see in about a year and a half.
Also, the one where they steal the Declaration of Independence.
National Treasure.
I was going to say American Treasure, and I was like, that's not right. So I'm just going to describe the movie. That one is also incredible. And the best friend in that... Best friend, the guy, not Nicolas Cage, but the other guy, he was in a gay TV show called The New Normal that had Andrew Reynolds in it.
Yeah, and you've talked about that show on this podcast before.
Possibly.
So you must love it, or you just in regular...
I also love that. Those are the only two Nicolas Cage movies that I will absolutely watch over and over again.
Okay. But yeah, we'll have more information on that in future dates. Go to mlmpod.com/donate if you'd like to be generous and donate to us to keep this podcast thing rolling. We're going to need money to update our domain and our website to get that for another year. So please, if you can, thank you. But soon we will have a Patreon way for you to support us if you would like to every month. And please go over to YouTube, subscribe to Mostly Speaking Sentai. I'm streaming quite often now. It's fun. We also have Let's Play videos of me playing video games with friends every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. It's good. Get in the chat when I'm streaming live and talk to me. Rudy, Amy, and It Takes Two to Toku almost convinced me to masturbate to completion on the stream.
No.
And then I was like, guys, there are currently 5 people watching. We need at least 100 people. Like, it's a celebration. And I would have needed to change games. I would have needed to go over to Monster Rancher Hop About. So if you ever see me say like, hey, I'm streaming Monster Rancher Hop About, you better assume that I'm probably going to jack off on the live stream. It's also very weird because I see Rudy every single week, and for him to be like, yeah, I want to hear you jack it. I'm like, yeah, I just feel weird for you to then come over and be like, hey, loved this stream. And I'd be like, yeah, we got out of hand on that one.
Yeah, that's a no from me, dog.
So guys, if you're listening, tell a friend. So once we get to 100, maybe 1,000, that should actually be, if we had 1,000 people watching at once, you better believe my pants are dropping and my hand's going from the D-pad all the way to the D-pad. Am I right? I've been James.
I've been Corwyn.
See you in class, bitch sticks. Yeah.
Bitch sticks.
That's year 2, guys. Bye.
Bitch sticks. You called yourself Daddy!
This has been a Marshland Media production, produced by James McCullum. For more content, please visit mlmpod.com. To support our network and have access to exclusive podcasts, head over to patreon.com/MLMpod and sign up today.